This is Burnley, and in 2022 they got relegated from the Premier League after finishing 17th. But this is Vicent Kompany, and under his management he has got them back into the Premier League after finishing first in the Championship. Now Kompany has done an insane job, but I think I can do better. So today I have become the new manager of Burnley, and by the end of this video I will be making them the best team in the world. So this is the starting 11 we've loaded into, and Burnley have got a really good team, with the likes of Hardwood Ballis, Ian Matson, and goalkeeper Muric being some standout individuals. But will this team as it stands be enough to survive the Prem? I don't think so. But obviously that's why I'm here. Now I'm happy to stick with the formation as it is. It's worked for them in real life, so it should work for us now. But we do have a loan situation to worry about, as 3 or 4 of our best players currently are on loan to us. And obviously with Burnley getting promotion, we have put them into the Premier League this season, so we've got to make sure we make the right signings. And obviously with promotion comes a lot of money, which is why we have got 80 million to spend in Season 1. However, before I take a proper look at the team or bring any other players from other teams into the squad, I want to take a look at some of the players we've got on loan. Now as I've said, 3 of these loan players are actually some of our best players in the squad. The likes of Nathan Talla, Taylor Harwood Ballis, and of course Ian Matson. And I could be wrong in saying this because I'm not too familiar with Burnley fans, but I'm pretty sure those 3 players are fan favourites right now. So my first proper action as Burnley manager is bringing all 3 of these players to us on a permanent deal. And so we started with Taylor Harwood Ballis, who cost us 6 million, then Ian Matson also for 6 million, and finally Nathan Talla, who was actually the cheapest player to bring in, only costing 4.85 million. And now with Matson, Harwood Ballis and Nathan Talla all being permanent players of Burnley, we can now properly look at the squad. Now the first thing I've noticed, we need a better striker, because Barnes in the Premier League I don't think is going to do that well. And we also need a better cam than Goodwin, because quite frankly a 72 rated player in the Prem just isn't going to do that well either. Once we've sorted those positions out, we'll revisit the team and see where we can further improve it. And we still have a lot of money to work with, 61 million still to spend this year. Now we do have a striker currently on loan to Man United, Wout Weghorst, who's 78 rated, 29 years old. I think it makes perfect sense just to recall him back into the team. And just like that, we got a striker sorted. Now we just need to bring in a better central attacking midfielder. Now this may be controversial, but I'm going for David Silva. He's 83 rated, he's 36 years old, he's played with Vicent Kompany. I think he'd do well under him as well. And for only £10 million, we have signed him up on a 2-year deal. And with the signing of David Silva, we've sorted out our cam and striker situation out. But we still got 46 million, and I'd be stupid not to spend it. So I'm thinking we bring in a defensive midfielder and also a right back. And I bet you're wondering why I'm not going for a goalkeeper. Well, he's 75 rated at 23 years old. I think he'll be alright for at least 2 or 3 seasons. And starting with a midfielder, I'm going for Nottingham Forest Danilo. He's 21 years old, already 76 rated. I think he'll be a really good player for Burnley. And we've officially made this deal happen for just 17.9 million. And for the right back, I'm going for relegated Kyle Walker-Peters, who still plays for Southampton. He's 25 years old, 78 rated, and he's too good to be in the Championship. And we have made him a Burnley player for just 15.9 million. And with all these players now signed for us, our transfer window is done, which leaves the team looking like this going into Season 1 with Burnley. And so far, we've done really well. We've got a mixed bag of experience and young talent in this squad. Now, don't get me wrong, we're not going to do anything spectacular this year, but I definitely don't want to be fighting for survival. Well, we just arrived in January, and we are 13th in the Premier League. We are more than holding our own this year. And the best news, we're 8 points clear of the relegation zone, meaning we're going to be nowhere near that relegation battle this year. But to be fair, the stats aren't that good. 7 goals and 3 assists for Weghorst, 7 and 2 for Zerari, and 6 and 1 for Nathan Talla. I know it's our first season in the Prem, but I definitely expected a bit better than that. Now, we do still have 12 million to spend, but right now there's no one we can bring in for that money that's going to have value to the squad. So this is the team that's going to finish off Season 1, and honestly, this team has improved so much over the course of half a season. Especially our left winger Zerari, 80 rated already, man. This guy's a beast. But like I said at the start of this season, I'm not expecting anything spectacular. I just want to stay well clear of that relegation zone, and so far that is exactly what we're doing. It's just a case now of maybe potentially creeping up the table a little bit more and getting a top 10 finish. Well boys, we're in June and we are 13th in the league, and you know what, for our first season back in the Prem, that is pretty decent. And we've comfortably survived the Prem. We were 14 points clear of the relegation zone. Honestly, with a couple of really good signings next year, this team is definitely going to take the Premier League by storm. And the stats did improve towards the end of the season. 16 and 4 for Nathan Talla, 15 and 11 for Anas Zarawi, 14 and 6 for Weghorst, and 10 and 3 for David Silva. And I bet a lot of you thought bringing David Silva in was a mistake. He's still banging goals in at his age. average. But like I said, 13th in the Prem for our first season back, that is pretty decent. But next year we have to strive for even higher, a top 10 finish or a top 8 finish, but we definitely don't want to be in the bottom half of the table. We're now into season 2 with Burnley. When you take a look at the team, it's obvious where we need to improve it. As much as Brownell's a Don, he's the weakest part of this team and we definitely need to replace him. On top of that, as much as David Silva is an icon of football, we definitely need to replace him this year as well. He was more of a one-year kind of player anyway. And once we sorted that out, I'm happy to leave the team as it is because I think this team is definitely good enough to get a top 10 finish in the Prem. And this year we've got a lot of money, 64 mil to spend in season 2. And I've found the perfect cam, Angel Gomez, who's 22 years old, 79 rated, and with him being that young, he can learn from David Silva and grow into one of the best central attacking midfielders in the world. And we got a great deal, only spending 27 million to bring him to Burnley on a 5-year deal. And for the defensive midfielder, I'm going for Oliver Skip from Tottenham Hotspur. He's only 22 years old, 79 rated. I think if we put him on the right development plan, he'll turn into an absolute monster. And because he only had 12 months left on his contract, we only had to spend 18.1 million on him. And after that, we do have 13 million left, but I'm going to save that till January. Which means this is the Burnley side going into season 2. And in only the space of one season, this team is actually unrecognisable. I think by the end of season 2, every player in this squad will at least be 80 rated. So with that being said, my expectations are a lot higher this time. I want at least a top 10 finish. Anything less than that is a massive failure in my eyes. Boys, we're halfway through the season and Burnley are cracked. We're 4th in the league after 21 games. Sod top 10, we're going for European football. And the stats do look better this year. 12-1 for Vegas and 12-3 for Nathan Talley. And honestly, with 15 million, there's not really anything we can do with that money. So this is the team that's going to finish off season 2. And to be fair, I don't really want to add anybody to this team. They're all doing a phenomenal job as it is. We started this season in the hopes we could maybe clinch top 10 football, and now we're looking at Champions League football. I think we're having an insane season. But that's only right now. That's in January. It only matters really where we finish in June. Boys, we came so close. We finished 5th at the end of this season, only 1 point behind Manchester City. Don't get me wrong, we definitely overachieved, but we were 1 point outside the top 4. And there's only one player not 80 rated in this squad. I was almost right on what I said halfway through the season. But I can't knock the team. They've been bloody brilliant. And the stats are really good this year. 26-6 for Teller, 23-5 for Vegas, and 13-12 for Zarori. And may I also add, Zarori's 83 rated at 23 years old. This guy's a bloody good hidden gem. But I think I've accidentally overlooked the most important part of this year. We've got Champions League football for season 3. That's absolutely mental. So you better believe for next year I'm pulling no punches with the transfers. I'm bringing in some bloody good players and we're going for silverware. And if you're still watching, consider dropping this video a like and hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 30,000 subscribers before the end of next month, so if you could help me out, that would be amazing. We're now headed into season 3 with Burnley. We are finally in a European competition with them, so we need to improve this team as much as possible this year. We definitely need a better centre-back than Bayer. He's only 78 rated and the weakest link in this entire squad. And I'm thinking of a better striker than Vegas as well. He's 81 rated, but he's in his early 30s, and he hasn't been the top goal scorer either season we're in charging for a striker. That's shocking. If we have money left over after we've sorted those positions out, we'll revisit the team and see where we can further improve it. But boys, the board have given us a lot of money this time, 119 million to spend in season 3. Now that money I can definitely put to good use. So starting with the centre back, I'm going for John Stones, who currently plays for Real Madrid. He's 30 years old, 84 rated, and I think in real life he's definitely one of the best centre backs in the world. And because his contract was running out, we only had to spend a measly 26 million to bring him to Burnley on a 3-year deal. But this next player is definitely going to be expensive. Julian Alvarez, who's 84 rated at 24 years old. This man has literally won everything you can win in football. He's just what we need up top. And I was right, he's our most expensive signing yet, coming in at 61.9 million. And after those transfers, the team is really starting to come together really nicely. But I have to admit, I think if we're going to do well in Europe, we definitely need a better keeper than Muric. He's been with us since season 1 and he's been amazing for us, but if we want to compete at a higher level, we need to get a better keeper. But the issue is we only have 18 million to spend. So I've decided to stick a couple of players on the transfer list to build funds for our next goalkeeper. And after selling a whole bunch of players, we now have over 60 million in our budget. Now that is more than enough to bring in a better keeper. And the player I'm going for is Georgi Mamardashvili, who's currently playing for Valencia. He's 23 years old, 83 rated. I think in real life Chelsea are actually going for this guy, but we're getting him first. But Valencia, we're letting him go for cheap as we had to spend 46.7 million to bring him to Burnley. And And with that, our transfer window's over, and this is the Burnley side going into Season 3. Now, I'm not saying the team's perfect. We do have our weaknesses, our biggest one being Harwood Bellis at 80 rated still. I'm also expecting a big season from Gomez. I paid a lot of money for him last season. It's time for him to start delivering. And last year, we did get top 6 football, but this season, with an even better team, I definitely want to achieve top 4. And obviously, because we got top 6 football last year, we're in the Europa League this year in Group E alongside Augsburg Rangers and Sligo Rovers. Now, I'm not usually cocky, but if we don't top this group, there is something wrong. The only real threat to us is Rangers, Sligo Rovers and Augsburg aren't that good. We've just arrived in January, and after 19 games, we are 6th in the league, and to be fair, I'll definitely take that so far. It's not like we're miles behind the top 4, there's only a couple of points between ourselves and Arsenal. And as expected, we topped the Europa League group stage with absolutely flying colours. And Julian Alvarez is worth every penny. 25 goals and 1 assist in 27 games. This man is a goal machine. But Angel Gomez needs to improve. 3 goals and 7 assists in 27 games is abysmal for an attacking midfielder. And we do have 13 million left, but I don't really want to meddle with the team now. Which means this is the Burnley team that's going to finish off Season 3. Obviously, the team as a whole has improved massive amounts, but there's some really big standout individuals. 85 rated Oliver Skip. 87 rated Tala. 86 rated Julian Alvarez. And my personal favourite, 88 rated Zarori. This guy is a serious hidden gem on this game. Now, last year we got top 6 football, and that's exactly where we are right now. So hopefully in June we can creep up that table just a little bit more and get top 4 football. Well, we just arrived in June and we bottled it. We finished 6th at the end of this season. We're not getting Champions League football, and what makes it even worse, the bottle jobs themselves have won the goddamn league. I do try and make my videos realistic, but that stuff doesn't help. We also got to the FA Cup final before losing 1-0 to Liverpool. And we made it to the Europa League final before losing 2-1 to Napoli. Us and finals this year just don't mix, do they? But looking at the team, I think next year we're definitely ready to collect some silverware. In the end of season stats have never looked better. 10-11 for Gomez, 14-11 for Nathan Tella, 15-8 for Zarori, and also 43-10 for Julian Alvarez. I'm in two minds about what to do with Gomez. He's a central attacking midfielder, and I think he should be pulling better numbers than that. I think in terms of his future, I'm going to wait until next season to make that decision. But aside from all that, we've finished top 6, we made it to the FA Cup final and the Europa League final. It's just a shame that we didn't come away from this season with any silverware. But how the team's looking right now, we are a couple of signings away from collecting a couple of trophies next year. We're now into season 4 with Burnley, and whilst we did well last year, we need to do even better this year, which means we need to make a couple of changes. Our front 4 had their best stats yet last season, so that leads me to believe that it's our back line that's letting us down a bit. Now, I'm leaving Ian Matson alone. He's only 23 years old and 83 rated, which leaves us with Harwood Bellis and Walker Peters. I think if we bring in a better centre-back and right-back, we'll be well on our way to getting our first piece of silverware with Burnley. And our funds have dropped a bit from last year's. We've got 87 million to spend. Don't get me wrong though, it's still a lot of money to use. And starting with the centre-back, I'm going for Milan Skriniar, who currently plays for Atalanta. He's 30 years old, 85 rated. He will massively improve our back line. And for 46.5 million, we've secured Milan Skriniar for 3 years at Burnley. But here's the thing, we've only got 34 million to spend. And whilst we brought a centre-back in, I don't think that money's going to be able to bring in a better right-back. So I've decided to transfer this Kyle Walker-Peters to give us enough money to afford a better right-back. And after selling Kyle Walker-Peters and another Burnley player, we now have over 90 million to spend on a right-back. And with that money, we are going all out on that position. You boys might have guessed who I'm going for. PSG's Hakimi, who's 26 years old, 87 rated, and the best part, he's only got 12 months left on his contract as well. And we have just got the bargain of the century, only spending 55 million to bring Hakimi to Burnley. And we do still have 29 million, but I'm going to save that until January. Which means this is the Burnley team going into season 4, and I am really liking the looks of this team at the minute. I'm going to give Gomez one more season, and if he isn't bucking his ideas up, he's going to get replaced next year. Now, this team has consistently got top 6 football for the past 2 seasons. I think this time, with the quality we've injected into the squad, we're finally going to break the mold and get into that top 4. And we are once again in the Europa League Group H this time, alongside Real Betis FC, Midtjylland and Hajduk Split. And just like last year, I want to top this group, and this time I want to do it completely undefeated. We have had the best start to a season yet. We're 2nd in the league halfway through the season. This is maybe our year to win the Premier League. And just like I wanted to, we have gone undefeated in Group H and we are flying to the knockouts. And these stats are pretty decent as well. Zarori with 20 20 goals and 9 assists and 11 and 4 for Julian Alvarez. I think Gomez's time's up at Burnley. He's got 1 goal and 1 assist in 16 games. That is beyond shocking. He's supposed to be an attacking midfielder, and if he's only getting 2 goal contributions in 16 games, I really didn't want him in my team no matter how good he is. So for that reason, I'm putting him on the transfer list, and I'm hoping with the money I get for him, we can bring in a much better attacking midfielder. And we do have our first bid in from Atletico Madrid at 44.8 million, but I think we can get a little bit more money for him. I think either way, we're going to make profit on him, but I'm greedy. I want a little bit more. I'm going for 52.8 million. They want to stick with 44.8. Okay, they won't go for 50 odd million, so let's go for 49.8 million. They want 46. Do you know what? I'm going to cut my losses. 46 million isn't bad at all. And with Gomez now sold, we have 75 million to spend on his replacement. Now, I think that might just be enough for who I want. It might be a squeeze, but I'm going for Harvey Elliott, who currently plays for him. He's 22 years old, already 84 rated. I think he's going to bring to the team what Gomez simply couldn't. It was close, but we managed to sign him for 63.9 million. And that is our transfer window done, leaving the team looking like this to finish off season 4. Now, I'm really hoping we haven't just spent all of that money on Harvey Elliott for him to be another Angel Gomez. We need him to perform this year for us. As daft as this sounds, we could get the treble, the Premier League, the FA Cup, and the Europa League. It's just a case now of whether we can continue this form until the end of May, and if we do, we've got a serious shot at the Champions League next year. And that's exactly what we've done, boys. Second in the league at the end of this season. We're only 2 points off Champions United, but that doesn't matter. We've got Champions League football next year. I am a bit gutted we didn't win the Premier League, but we got to look at the bigger picture here. But we finally won silverware as Burnley manager, beating Chelsea 4-3 to win the FA Cup. And we've also beaten Chelsea to win the Europa League this time. Boys, we have destroyed Chelsea this year. What a team this is becoming. The scary thing is, it's only going to improve even more next year. And these stats are bloody incredible. 38 and 11 for Alvarez, 29 and 17 for Anas Arouri, 16 and 7 for Teller, and 13 and 9 for bloody Hakimi. Now, Harvey Elliott only got 8 goals and 5 assists in 28 games, but he's only been with us for half a season, so we're at least going to give him the rest of next season to prove himself. But since taking charge of Burnley, this has been our best season yet. Second place in the Prem, we won the FA Cup and the Europa League. It's been amazing. And like I've already said, the terrifying part is this Burnley squad is only going to get better, so with the right improvements next year, we may potentially win the Champions League. We're now heading into season 5 with Burnley, now our very first season in the Champions League. And obviously this team is insane, second in the Prem last year along with the Europa League and the FA Cup, but if we want to do well in the Champions League, we do have to improve it a little bit more. I think if we get a better defensive midfielder than Danilo, we'll have a far greater chance of doing well in the Champions League. And as much as I love John Stones, he's 32 years old now, and I think this year is the season he's going to go down in overall, so I'm going to bring in a better centre-back as well. Once we've sorted those positions out, if we have any money left over, we'll revisit the squad and see how we can further improve it. But boys, we've got our highest budget yet, 190 million to spend this year. I'm liking Burnley's board at the minute. They're pretty nice too. And starting with the defensive midfielder, I'm going for Manuel Locatelli, who currently plays for Barcelona. He's 28 years old, 86 rated. He's a little bit better than Danilo, and that's what we need in that midfield. And for 73.5 million, we have signed Locatelli on a 3-year deal. And for the centre-back role, I think this guy is absolutely perfect. Nicolas Sula, he's 6'5", he's 30 years old, 87 rated. This guy is an absolute brick wall. And for 62.5 million, we have secured Nicolas Sula, and he is now officially a Burnley player. And after those transfers, the team looks like this, but to be honest, I'm not done with this team yet. We still have 40 million to spend, and I would be absolutely stupid not to try and spend that money on this squad. And I bet you're thinking 40 million isn't going to bring in a better player than anyone in that starting 11, and you know what? You're absolutely right. That's why I'm going to focus that 40 million on our subs bench, primarily bringing in a better striker and a central attacking midfielder. That is literally all our subs bench is missing, and once we do that, our team is ready for absolutely anything this year. So starting with the attacking midfielder, I'm going for Zielinski, who currently plays for OGC Nice. He's 32 years old, 83 rated. He'll be the perfect backup central attacking midfielder. And he was a little more expensive than I thought he was going to be, as we just had to spend 26.5 million on him. And finally, for our second choice striker, Tommy Conway. He's 24 years old, 76 rated, and if you know, you know. And with that, our transfer window is done, and this is the team that's going to go into season 5. We really have created a monster with this Burnley side, man. I hope you Burnley fans are happy with this one. Put it this way, if we got the double last year, we can definitely get the treble this year. And we have an early chance of silverware this year in the community Community Shield final against Manchester City. Now, last year they beat us to the Premier League title by 2 points. So let's hopefully get revenge on them by beating them to the Community Shield 5K. Maybe not. But we've got another early opportunity of silverware in the Super Cup against Juve. Now, we've just lost to United, so hopefully we can kind of redeem ourselves against... Yay! There we go. Thank God for that. That's trophy number 1 of this season. And of course, we're in the Champions League this season in Group G alongside Real Madrid, Porto and Lech Poznan. And to be fair, with how our team's looking right now, I'd say we're quite on par with Real Madrid. So with that being said, I want to beat Madrid to that first place position in top Group G. Boys, it could be our year. We're first in the league with a game in hand over bloody Man City of all teams. This is our year to win the Premier League. And on top of that, we've gone through the group stage undefeated. We're going to the round of 16 with flying colours. And these stats are bloody insane. 25 and 6 for Julian Alvarez, 18 and 7 for Zaroury, and 10 and 5 for Nathan Towler. And also Harvey Elliott has got 20 goal contributions in 30 games. That is what I expect from my attacking midfielder. And honestly, I did all of our business in the first transfer window, so I'm doing nothing this time. Which does mean this is the Burnley side that's going to go into the knockouts of the Champions League. And I know some of you will have noticed Alvarez has got an injury, but he's only out for another 11 days, so really, I'm not worried in the slightest. We're first in the league, we're in the knockouts of the Champions League, we're still in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. This season is literally ours to lose. And obviously, it is our first time in the Champions League, but with the quality we've got in our squad, there's no reason why we can't go all the way. And first up in the round of 16 is Atalanta, and quite honestly, they do have a pretty solid team with the likes of Brian Brobby, Kudus, Edison, Badiashile, and Dick, and so on and so on. But really, I think our team wipes the absolute floor with them. So, we're going to get this started. What's it going to be? It's a 2-0 win in the first leg. Elliott and Towler. And honestly, I think we're into the quarters quite easily. It is indeed time for the second leg. There's no reason to muck around. We have got the advantage and then some. Are we going to take advantage of that? Oh my God, we've absolutely wiped the floor with them at home. 4-2 on the night. 6-2 overall. We cruise to the quarters. And next up is Bayer Leverkusen. Now, they were once upon a time our bogey team, but we have broken that curse, I do believe. So hopefully we can continue this and beat them. Now, oh my God, they didn't make it easy. 3-2 in the first leg. It's still all up for grabs. We go to the second leg. Boys, it's happening again. Ian Matson is suspended for this game, but the good news is at least we are at home. And the last time we were at home in the Champions League, we destroyed Atalanta. So let's hope we can do the exact same thing to Bayer Leverkusen. Oh my God, thank God for that. I swear on my life, I would have thrown my controller out the window if we'd have got knocked out by these guys again. Now here comes the big challenge. PSG in the semi-finals, the Thanos of the Champions League themselves. And boy, would you take a look at how good their team actually is. Like, don't get me wrong, I know our team is unbelievable, but PSG's team is always on another level. So we're going to get straight into this game. Away from home in the first leg. What are we doing? It's a 1-1 draw. Our first draw of the knockouts, and it goes to the second leg. We're at home in the second leg, and we've got an exceptional track record at home in the knockout. So hopefully we can continue this and book our place in that final. Come on, boys. We've done it. Zaroury with the brace. 105th minute winner, boys. We've made it to the Champions League final. And this will be interesting. We're facing Barcelona in that Champions League final. This has got the makings of an all-time classic. I am absolutely gutted. We finished second at the end of this season, 3 points behind Manchester City. That team is just too goddamn good. And what makes it worse, if we'd have won one more game, we'd have beaten them on goal difference. But the good news is we are still on for the double as we've beaten Wolverhampton Wanderers in the FA Cup final. Yeah, these stats are insane as well. Julian Alvarez with 42 and 11, 28 and 10 for Zaroury, 24 and 11 for Nathan Towler, 12 and 19 for Harvey Elliott, and Hakimi with 10 and 6 as well. We have well and truly created an absolute unit of a team with Burnley, man. Just check out some of these players. 89 overall Alvarez, 89 overall Skip, 91 overall Zaroury, and 92 rated Nathan Towler. These boys are absolutely insane. We finished second in the league once again. We've won the FA Cup once again, but this time we've got a chance to win the Champions League. And as much as I would love to use these boys, I'm not going to play this game. I'm going to sit back and hopefully relax and watch these boys become the best team in the world. Let's hope the AI can actually play football this time. Let's not have a rerun of what happened with RC Lens. If you know, you know. Okay, this isn't good. Darwin Núñez is through. Ian Matson is in chase. He's all on his own. Get a bit closer to him, please. This isn't good. I don't like this. No.
Nope.
No. Oh, what a save from Amardashvili. Is he looking to go wing again? I don't know. Yes, I think he is. Zarora's on the ball now, and he's frigging offside, man. Come on. Locatelli on the ball in the middle of the park. He's found Elliot. Elliot. Oh, my God. What in fuck's name was that kid? Amardashvili, please don't mess around with it. You had so many options there, and you decided to just lob it up to absolutely no one. Honestly, the AI for us is always so shit. Find Julian Alvarez, you greedy shit. This doesn't end up in a goal. Come on, please. Oh, thank God for that. I was going to say, if we didn't score from that, we are absolutely woeful. Whilst the AI is sometimes genius, it is sometimes so dumb, but thankfully this time, it ends up in a goal. Barca have picked it up. Oh, come on, Ian Matson, get to that. That's brilliant defense. Well in, Ian Matson, lad. Goncalves, Ian Matson needs to be in chase of Frenkie de Jong.
Nope.
He's on him, and he's intercepted. Ian Matson, what are you doing, you absolute donut? Why do you keep giving it away? Can we keep the ball for longer than 2 seconds after getting it back? Hakimi on the ball. Okay, this is one guy I do trust on the ball. He's really good. Hakimi, see that run? He's offside, you friggin' idiot. Why didn't you? Oh, my God, I take it back. Hakimi, you're a fucking idiot. You guys love me watching these finals. Is it because I'm raging out my arse? Good ball into Alvarez. Harvey Elliott. Hit it. Hit it. Oh, for God's sake. In that position, you've got to hit it. For the love of God. Please, make something of it. Thank you. Oh, my God. My heart rate can't hack this. Nathan Tella on the ball.
Nope.
He's waiting for that run. Nathan, honestly, how can we do something so good then produce something so bad like 5 seconds later? Barca on the attack now. Koundé is furthest man up. To be fair, I don't mind that. Koundé can't shoot to save his life. But Barca have got players up with them now. I don't like this. Can we get it away? For God's sake, man. Why do we always do this? This is exactly why I wanted that 2-goal lead. Just to give us a little bit of safety. But Barcelona aren't done yet. They're going for another goal. They're going for... Oh, my God. I genuinely thought that was going in. Oh, my God. I've just given my heart a BJ. We are in extra time. No. There's no way. There is no... Oh, my God. Amardashvili, you've just... potentially giving us the Champions League. Final corner to Barcelona. The final kick of the game, potentially. Everybody's in the box. Clear it. Just clear it. Get it out. Is that it? Please tell me that. That's got to be it. Oh, my God. Thank the Lord for that. Burnley 2, Barcelona 1. We are the best team in the world. It's taken us 5 years to take a newly promoted Burnley side to becoming the Champions League winners. And if you enjoyed this, you should click somewhere right here to watch me do this with Luton Town.